Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Today is Mental Monday. So today I actually did a live with one of my friends that I know. She struggles with anxiety, but she uses poetry as a way to articulate how she's feeling. And I feel like one of the hardest struggles that you can have with your mental illness is how do you tell the people that you love and care about that you're suffering? You know, when you wake up and have a depressive down day like I know I do, it can be hard to tell the people you love why that's happening. So if you're new here and you're not just stopping by, my name is Savvy and I upload videos on Mondays and Saturdays. On Mondays I do something called Mental Mondays where I go over a mental health topic that has been heavy on my mind. And on Saturdays I do something fun and different. I do Serial Saturdays where I dive into the mind of a fictional serial killer. So if you know anyone who struggles with their mental health, or you do, I would recommend subscribing, as well as if you're oddly fascinated by serial killers like I am. So throughout my life, I have always struggled to articulate my mental illness. Now, it wasn't until about 2019 when I actually went to go get help for my mental health. Previous to this, I did go to therapy most of my life. However, it wasn't something that I talked about on a regular basis. In fact, I actually hid it, but I didn't hide it knowing that I had depression and that's why I was hiding it. I hid the way that I was feeling because it wasn't a social norm. My family didn't quite understand it 100%. Just because, you know, while they were growing up, mental health wasn't something that was huge. It wasn't something that was advocated. It wasn't a, current topic that people are talking about. So I would say one of the hardest parts of struggling with depression, anxiety, and PTSD is voicing how you feel and voicing to the people that you love and care about and the people that love and care about you too. About your mental illness. A lot of people still don't know what mental illness is. They don't understand mental health. They don't understand the way that your emotions can impact your day-to-day life. We keep it bottled up inside, and when you do that, it can be even more isolating and alone. So when I was young, I never spoke up about my depression to my peers. So my family knew that I struggled with depression, not my entire family, just my immediate family. Because, they were the ones taking me to the doctor, they were the ones scheduling the therapist appointments, and they were the ones who got me help in the first place when they discovered that I was very, very depressed. So, and the way they discovered that I was depressed wasn't by me telling them. It was the fact that my grandmother had found a suicide note I had written, on one of my attempts, and I had hidden it under a pile of clothes in my closet, and my grandmother was putting away clothes, and while she found a stack of goodbye letters, and that is how my parents found out I had depression. So I never told them that I did. I didn't know how to tell them that I was sad all the time. I didn't know how to tell them that, hey, sometimes I wake up and I just don't feel like getting up. You're scared of what people may think, you're scared of what your family may think, and you're scared to worry other people. You don't want it to be a big deal, and then you feel like there's a huge magnifying glass on you and that every little move you make, they may have their eye on you constantly, and it can feel suffocating. When I was young and I'd be at school, people would notice that I'd be in a not so great, headspace. And in order to justify why I felt the way that I did, not only to other people, but maybe to myself a little bit too, now that I think about it, I would make up scenarios. Like extreme things that would constitute as to why I'd be sad and depressed. Instead of just saying, hey, I woke up depressed today and I don't know why. There's no reason as to why I woke up depressed. It just happens sometimes. So 2 years ago is when I understood that it was okay and normal for me to voice that I was depressed and for me to voice that I'm not okay. If you're watching this and you are super depressed, or you have a lot of anxiety, or you have PTSD or any other illness, it's okay to voice how you're feeling to someone. There's no need to make up a story as to why you're depressed. There's no need to make up a story as to why you're anxious. You have been through some stuff in your life that has traumatized you in some way, shape, or form, and you haven't healed from it yet, and that's why your emotions are coming up to the surface as well. Now that I know what I know, I can share with you how I've seen the best way to communicate to the people around me about my mental health. So say I wake up in one of my depressive down days, the first thing I do is I text my family members. Now, I have a group text with my family anyways, so I just say, hey guys, just a heads up, today I'm in one of my depressive down days. Just so you know, just an FYI. I think sometimes we get scared to tell people how we're feeling because people always just want to fix your emotions and make you feel better because they're under the idea that if you have a negative feeling or emotion that it needs to be fixed and dealt with right away, and it doesn't. I think the other reason why we don't tell people about our mental health is because we're scared that they're going to judge us or they're going to think less of us. Or we're scared that they're going to say, oh, they're just looking for attention. Or if you're a woman, oh, she's probably just PMSing, that's just probably all it is. But it's like there always has to be a reason behind why someone feels something, and there doesn't. My family used to want to be the type of people that would try to fix it, or like they'd give me a pep talk or something motivational. So just know that if like that's someone's response, which is to fix it right away, it's not because they think that there's something wrong with you. They're just preconditioned to fix a situation, maybe because of codependency, or they're your parent and they just want to make you feel better, or in their own experience with their own emotional health. That is how other people used to deal with it with them, so then they're doing the exact same thing with you because they don't know any better. And now I let my peers and my friends know, I'll let you know if I need anything, because half the time when I tell people, you know, them having a down day, everyone's response is, oh, let me know if you need anything, which is good. That is the best response as a loved one. That is the best response you can give to someone. And I think the most important part that I've now realized is if I'm trying to explain my mental health to someone and they just don't get it, they don't resonate with it, they don't understand why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, or they're dismissive about it or rude in some way, think of it this way. People can only emotionally show up for you as much as they've shown up for themselves emotionally. It sucks when that happens from family and friends and loved ones, right? Because we value their opinions so much more because we love and care about them. And because they're the closest people to us, we assume that their opinions are super important, that they matter the most. However, they're human beings. Okay? Not everyone in your family is the same. And if someone doesn't understand you and you feel misunderstood, because that's how I felt most of the time, I felt like no one understood the pain that I was feeling, that it's not anyone's job to understand my pain. It isn't. It's not their job to understand how deeply I'm hurting and everything I'm feeling, because that's a very difficult thing to try to get another person to understand. They don't have your mind, they don't have your genetic makeup, they're not you, you know? The person that needs to understand how you're feeling is you. Because once you understand how you're feeling and your own pain, then you start to feel understood by yourself. When we try to look for other people to understand and get us, it's a trap. No one in this world is going to 100% get you. I mean, maybe like 95, 97%, but like they may empathize with you, they may understand what you're coming from, they may have been through similar experiences, which is why they can understand you. But largely, you cannot make someone else feel or understand how you're feeling. It's not their responsibility, and it's not your responsibility to make them feel and understand how you're feeling. And say you do have a family member that does react in a negative way to you opening up about your mental health and letting them know what's going on with you. Just know that however they respond, in whatever negative way that they do, if they're not compassionate about how you're feeling, chances are that's just how they feel about themselves. And we have to realize that there are people out there who will be compassionate enough to hear our mental health, who will be there for us, who will stand by our side. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to tell the people you love and care about that you're struggling. You may be surprised with their response. They may be incredibly supportive. And if they're not supportive, then you know something about them and you know to distance yourself from them, you know? So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that helped someone. I thought it'd be helpful for me to discuss my experience with opening up about my mental health and how I've now, gone about telling the people I love and care about around me. It's just those simple words that I told you about before are very helpful when you put it in that way, and then you can take it step by step. And go to your therapist too. If you have a therapist, go to them. Ask them how you tell your family. Ask them if that's the right thing to do. Everyone's circumstance and case is different. But either way, do not be afraid to speak up, because it could actually help someone else too. And it could help you feel less alone. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Lets me know that you enjoy what I'm doing and that you like my content. And if you have any other suggestions as to other topics that you'd like me to discuss or go over, feel free to comment below. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys on Saturday for a Serial Saturday.